Welcome to howtotunepianos.com, the hobby, skill, and career of piano tuning. Today I'd like to introduce you to a method of aural piano tuning that I like to call the APE method. It's the most accurate, precise, and efficient aural piano tuning method ever, and I'm going to show you why. The elements of the APE method include the double string unison tuning method, using beat speed windows, and using a non-speaking length tension analysis to get good stability. The double string unison method is used by muting only one string of a trichord. Then you're listening to two strings. There's no need to mute the bichords because they are double string unisons. You mute and unmute as you go, not all at once, like you do with a strip mute. The procedure for using the double string unison is to tune the double string unison until it is clean, assess the pitch, and then move the pitch of the double string unison by detuning one of the strings. Then you retune the other string so that the unison is back to clean. This is a demonstration of how to use the double string unison tuning technique to tune A4. We start by tuning F2 as a double string unison. No mutes needed. Then check with the fork. That's a little bit fast. The slower it is, the better it is. So let's raise F2. You detune and then tune. That's a nice speed. Okay, that's flat, I can tell by ear. This is already a double string unison. I've just muted the third string. And these are new strings, that's why they're so flat. It's a cent flat. Now we just change the color of the double string unison to move the pitch the smallest amount possible. That's registering 0 and 0.6. So we removed the third mute. And tune the trichord clean. The benefits of using this method are that you can change pitch by as little as 0.3 cents. It gives you excellent feedback on how the hammer force is affecting the pitch. And you can use beat matching, which speeds up the tuning tremendously. Now I'm going to show you how to use beat matching. Let's say we have an A3 that we know is flat. Tune the double string unison clean. Play the octave. Listen to the A5 beating. So the A4 is beating, yeah, na, 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 but the A5 is, na, 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 na. Match that beat speed at the A5. With one string and bring it in with the other. We get very close to a pure 4/2. It's a little sharp though, eh? That's using beat speed matching to get a quick setting on a note, and then you can refine after that. Additional benefits? When you use a double string unison, which is an open unison tuning technique, you are tuning the entire unison and all three strings, and that loads the soundboard early and reduces later drift caused by soundboard settling. When you're using a mute strip, you might get your strings sounding good, but when you take the mute strip out later, the possible additional tension of all of those other strings can cause the soundboard to settle. With open unison tuning techniques, that's not an issue. This also eliminates Weinrich drift. Weinrich drift is a real thing that happens when you tune a single string, then you add the double string and even the trichord. The final pitch may be the same, or it may go down, or it may even go up. When we make judgments based on the final pitch of all three strings, any Weinrich drift that may occur is not an issue, because if it occurs, it already has occurred. We make our judgment of the pitch after any Weinrich may have occurred. Beat speed windows is a method of tuning using double string unison where the speed of an interval is set between two other beat speed intervals, a slower and a fast one, called the window. It must be set exactly between those two beat speeds, and the better you can do this, the better your tuning will be. This allows us to focus on one specific skill that has a direct impact on the quality of our tunings. That is, how sensitive is your ear to hearing two different beat speeds? This method also reduces uncertainty when errors are found, because the beat speed window temperament sequence is a sequence of specific notes within the temperament that are tuned. If you find an interval that doesn't fit, you will pick which note you want to test depending on where it occurs in the sequence, starting with the first note that occurs in the sequence, and you will use the tests that you used to set that note within the beat speed window sequence. You don't have to worry about any others. So there's very little question as to what test to use. So there's no more guessing about which note is out of tune and what tests to use to check whether the note is in tune or not. Here's an example of using beat speed windows to tune. We've tuned A already. Now we're going to double string unison A3, clean it up, double string using the check note F3. That sounds a bit slower. Our goal is a pure 4-2 right now. Narrow 4-2. Okay, now we're check to 6-3. Clean up the check note, C4. Much slower, and I can hear that. That means this is a medium scale octave, which means it tunes best as a wide 4-2, narrow 6-3. And listen, there's a little motion in that. Pure 4-2 doesn't work on this piano. Bring it down a bit. Faster. That's a wide 4-2. And a little slower on the top, the narrow 6-3. If there's any motion in that octave, it's probably in one of the unisons. That one. And this one. Clean up the trichord. This is an octave that sounds like a clean unison. And it was tuned within the window of the 6-3 and the 4-2. That's one way of using beat speed windows. The third element, the non-speaking length analysis. This allows for more efficient hammer technique and better stability, without using excessive test blows which can damage your hearing in the piano. It uses the friction and the bending of the pin to help achieve stability. It's less harmful on ears, joints, and piano because we can use a method I call massage testing rather than test blows. The procedure is, first we imagine how the tuning pin unbends and untwists as you remove the force on the lever. Now, visualize how this unbending and untwisting is affecting the non-speaking length tension. What we're trying to do is leave the non-speaking length tension so that the tensions across the upper termination point, the V bar A graph or capodastral bar, result in a tension difference that keeps the string stable. Now a demonstration of slow pull. At 3 o'clock, coming up. Then I let it go. Within a cent, 3 chips, and it goes flat. That means the untwisting makes it go flat because the twisting is clockwise when you're raising pitch, and the untwisting is counterclockwise. That makes the non-speaking length loosen up. And because I was pulling, and then when I stopped, it bent away from me towards the string. So that also dropped the non-speaking length tension, and it was too much. So I'm going to change my hammer angle to 9 o'clock. Now, when I push, it's going to bend the pin forward. Then when I'm done, it'll come back. That will take up the slack in the non-speaking length. There we are within a cent, a little bit below. Within a cent. It went down about a cent. If I wanted to make that even more stable, I could put the hammer more at 11 o'clock and just a little tiny down pressure on the hammer at 11 o'clock. And now, when it unbends, it's going to spring back. That's going to take up more of the slack. Will it take up more than the hammer at 9 o'clock? I think so, depending on how much I was pressing, which shouldn't be too much. So that is slow pull. Now for the pitch window demonstration. It's actually nice to do when the pitch is sharp. So here we are with a sharp pitch at about 12 cents. A little gentle pressure down, and it didn't go. Turn the foot. This works nicely with a hammer at 12. Now it's sharp by 1.5 cents. So I'll just gently massage the hammer down. Just gently massage it down. I think the foot moved a little bit while I was doing that, because I have a tendency to try to twist a little bit the pin as well as massage it down. Let's see if that's stable. No, it wasn't stable. We've got a long non-speaking length here. That means the hammer comes back. Because it's so long, it's not really taking up the slack. A shorter non-speaking length, the slack is taken up a lot easier. So that means I would have to put a little bit more force down on the hammer. 8 cents, down to 3. Now, it's still sharp, right? Now, if I put it down again, it's still around 3. If I want that pitch to go down, I have to move the foot. So in this case, I don't even have to play, just feel. Okay, I felt it move. After moving the pin foot, I felt the pin foot move. The pitch is still at 3 cents. Because I moved the pin foot, there was a definite drop in tension in the non-speaking length, but it wasn't enough to break the friction. But it's closer. It's almost ready to go. That's why a massage down should be enough to cause it to go. 1.3. Still 1.3. So I'm going to have to move the foot again. Again, I can do this without playing the note, just feeling when the pin foot moves. I think it moved. Still at about 1.3. Massaging it down. It went down too much, but stable. So I have to move the pin foot clockwise. Okay, felt it move. Massage down. Within 1 cent. Unstable. That is how you use the pitch window. So that is my method of accurate, precise, and efficient aural piano tuning. I invite you to go ape by going to howtotunepianos.com and pre-ordering this video course. You will be helping me produce this course, and you will also be gaining access to the most accurate, precise, and efficient aural piano tuning method ever. This is the method I use. This is the method I use for concert tunings, for fast tunings, for pitch raises. I love it, and that's why I'm creating this video course to tell other people about it. Thanks for watching.